Now, this video sound interesting. You know why? Cause I want to know. Maybe it's just me. I'm in college algebra. When the hell is my dad coming home? Cause my dad ain't home right now. He out in his own crib doing his own thing. It's like, no, my dad love me, maybe. But I want to know, when will my dad come home? So we about to figure out. We have to use the y equals mx plus b shit. The shit we've been learning for 4 years in high school to figure out when my dad come home. Feel me?
In the last video, we went over what limits are and how to find them. So in this video, we are going to go over a real-life application of limits to find when your dad is coming home. Your dad went to the grocery store with $3
Uh huh.
to buy some milk.
He said, I remember it. I remember it like it was yesterday. My pops. I was like, Dad, where you going? He said, I'm gonna go to the store, son. I'm about to go get some milk, cause we only had a little bit of milk left in the fridge, right? And he said, I'm about to go get some milk from the store, and I was like, all right, feel me? Ain't nothing wrong with that. He about to go get some milk. Come to find out, this nigga, 15 years later, I was 3 years old at the time. 15 years later, this nigga still hasn't found the milk. What the fuck? It's not that hard. I ain't drink no crazy type of milk.
It's been 15 years and he
Bro,
hasn't come
what I
back.
say? 15 years. I didn't, bro. It's been 15 years.
So firstly, let's set up a graph, where the x-axis represents how far your dad is from home,
Uh huh.
the distance, the distance,
Distance. Why you repeating
and
like
the y-axis represents the time until your dad gets home,
that? Okay.
the time,
That time. You gotta
time.
repeat every word he
Now,
say.
one point of confusion for people doing this problem is that usually the x-axis is the one that defines time. However, in this case, the y-axis represents time, because I am Asian and I get to make the math rules. I am
Asian.
Asian. The next step is to set up the equation. Your dad left with $3, $3, and is
Three
going to
dollars.
obtain 1 liter of milk, which requires one trip to the grocery store, which is 1x distance away from your home.
Okay.
So that means the equation is 3 for $3 over x. But realize if x is negative, that means y is also negative, and time cannot be negative. So the equation is actually the absolute value of 3.
I ain't gonna lie. Now that I'm like in college and I'm looking at this math, the math I was learning in school was holding me back so much that now that I'm in college and I'm looking at this shit, it's totally different, bro. I swear to God, like when I was in school, we learned about the same shit for like a week before we move on to something else. Bro, I swear, every time my teacher teaches a lesson for like about like we learn about logarithms right now. That you know the thing on the calculator that says log. We learn about that, bro. Once we finish this, I mean the semester's like over now, but once we was like once we finish that shit, we on to something else new. That's crazy, cause he don't stop. Like once he on one section, he on the next. High school was holding me back from all this math shit, and now it's hard for me to remember all these damn formulas and shit.
Over x. If we graph that out, the function looks something like this. In order to find out when your dad arrives home, we must take the limit as x goes to 0 of the function f of
What?
x. Actually, let's switch to
You
a
lost
different
me.
color here. F of x. Basically, as the x value approaches 0, what value does the y value approach? As
Mm-hmm.
you can see on our graph, the y value, or time it takes until your dad gets home, approaches infinity.
So
The
it's cool. So you telling me it's gonna take him however long it take for him to come back with the milk?
limit as x approaches 0 in respect to the equation of the absolute value of 3 over x is infinity. So basically, your dad, is never coming home. Never coming
Dang. Bro,
home.
him repeating it make it funnier.
And there's your final solution. Let's move on to the next problem. Let's say you won the lottery. Your dad, hearing of this news, would spend that $3 on something else, knowing that he will be able to get a lot more than $3 from you once he gets home. That changes the equation to f of x equals the absolute value of 0 over x. And if we draw this graph, you can see the estimated time of arrival of your dad is always 0 no matter where he is. Be sure to check out my other 2 lessons.
So, in conclusion, basically, like he said, my dad is never coming home. I'm about to let people know. I just found out my dad ain't never coming home. I'm about to send this to a couple people and just let them know. Great video. My pops ain't home. That nigga ain't never coming back. He said it himself. Look at the bro. Infinity, bro. Infinity. That nigga ain't never coming back. Nadira said where he at. He getting milk. He been looking for 15 years. He been looking for this milk for 15 years. And that nigga still ain't found it. It only cost $3. Dang, I'll let you figure. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool, Ski. It's cool. My dad ain't coming home. It's cool. I'm about to find another video now. Did Chris and them post a new basketball video? Or Ball's Life or somebody?